Morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome again to Malacañang. Well, let me start by thanking Intel Philippines for the generous donation that will build 30 classrooms, provide a brighter future to thousands of school children, and contribute to our global competitiveness. I decided that instead of receiving Intel's donation privately or in a separate meeting, I would call it in the middle of the meeting of the National Council on Competitiveness to make sure that we remain on track to improve our business and investment climate and to continue to improve our global competitiveness. The National Competitiveness Council will be 2 years old next month, but ladies and gentlemen, you have already accomplished a lot. I congratulate you all for the competitiveness initiatives that have influenced the direction of many industries and government agencies. Your efforts contributed to the 5-notch improvement in our country's ranking in the Institute for International Management and Development survey, and the 4-rank improvement for competitiveness in the World Economic Forum. Congratulations and thank you. I call this meeting also to reassure the investment community, domestic and foreign, that the government is acting responsibly, will stay the course, and has a plan for the future. If you recall, in my State of the Nation address last year, 2007, I outlined 5 comprehensive strategies for global competitiveness, or rather 2006, 2 years ago. Number 1, plentiful and affordable food to keep our labor costs globally competitive. Number 2, reduced cost of electricity to make our factories regionally competitive. Number 3, modernized infrastructure to efficiently transport goods and people. Number 4, upgrade knowledge and technologies disseminated for productivity. Number 5, reduced red tape to cut business costs. With regard to the first and second strategies, plentiful and affordable food and reduced cost of electricity, the upheaval in the global economy this past year has certainly had a significant and painful impact through higher prices of food, fuel, and rice. This has led to an uptrend in inflation and even greater pressures on our very poor and working poor. With the price of crude oil on the global market some 44% over the past year, and the price of rice on the global market up some 43% over the past year, our economic team has been challenged, to say the least. Our team is doing their best on all fronts to manage inflationary pressures, provide a safety net for those members of our society who are hit hardest by these global developments, and deliver the economic growth that will continue to generate jobs. While the economic picture has been challenging, thankfully, we had the foresight to plan for this day through our tough choices to reform our tax system. It is important to remind ourselves of the tough past choices that have allowed for the revenues and stability to see the nation through this rainy day, namely the successes of the revenue collection, which is allowing for greater investment in the people during this tough time. The revenue collection has given us the funds to invest in targeted relief to our most poor through programs aimed at relieving the high price of energy, food, and other daily staples. In fact, our foresight is allowing us to expand this program to see our nation through this difficult time until the global economy turns around. For instance, starting last July, those earning 200,000 pesos a year or less don't have to pay income tax. A 12 billion peso tax break to keep our labor cost competitive. I am proud of the advocacy of the Competitiveness Council for lower power rates. I thank the Council for your involvement in reducing power costs by 150 per kilowatt hour in the 13 economic zones under PESA, and for pushing the interim access, which the interim open access, which the ERC has approved. On the third strategy, modernized infrastructure, I recognize the role that the Competitiveness Council plays in the completion of vital infrastructure and the private sector government joint projects that you continue to champion. A number of these projects were the result of recommendations presented by the private sector in 2006 during the Competitiveness Summit. On the fourth strategy, upgraded knowledge. Aside from contributing classrooms, I thank you for your support for improvements in the English, math, and science proficiency of our elementary pupils. With the Council's help in aligning education projects, together with the infusion of more government funds into basic education, our elementary pupils have shown marked improvement in their national achievement scores. On the fifth strategy, reduced red tape, thank you for campaigning for such schemes as the visa upon arrival for Chinese and Indian businessmen and the reduction of fees for exporters. The Competitiveness Council's constant campaigning for our cities to achieve ISO certification has also encouraged more LGUs to improve systems and procedures. The recent challenges we are facing are broadly external. The heights to which oil and other commodity prices have risen were unexpected, and the depth of financial market turbulence in the U.S. is still unknown. Against this backdrop, the best buffer we have to external vulnerability is our own domestic internal strength. Building a stronger, healthier economy driven by domestic consumption and investment and relying less on external markets is exactly what our reform agenda is about. This is one of the key contributors to our renewed economic strength and stability in recent years. This is indeed what is keeping our economy on its path of long-term sustainable growth. We will continue on the path of economic reforms. Our reforms to date have helped us in this time of global economic upheaval. Without them, we would not be as confident as we are that our economy will withstand these external shocks. We will continue to be vigilant against further challenges to our economy. We must maintain the fiscally prudent policies that have given us the strength to weather this global storm. We are doing everything in our power to focus on the fundamentals, keep the economy steady, and provide relief for those most in need. That can only happen if we all commit to continue to work together to create a stronger and more competitive Philippines. Thank you, and congratulations again for all you have achieved.